Hello everyone, it's Miss Emma here at the Children's Museum of Green Bay. I am so excited to be here with you virtually today, celebrating Wisconsin Science Festival. It happens every year, October 15th through the 18th. This year we are taking it virtually, and we are going to be posting on the Children's Museum of Green Bay's Facebook page. Every day of this festival, we will be posting a super exciting science experiment that we will be able to share with you all, so we can all still celebrate this amazing festival together. We can all experiment and learn more about all the exciting things that science has to offer. We will be posting videos on our Facebook page. But if you would also like to check out the statewide amount of programs and events that are happening virtually and some in person, you can go to wisconsinsciencefest.org and you can check out everything that is going on around in the whole state of Wisconsin. So we are all celebrating this all together, celebrating science and how exciting and fun it is to learn about science. So today we are going to be learning a little bit more about colors. And each one of our experiments during this festival will be about color, which I love to experiment with color and learn more about it, all the different kinds of color. So how we are going to investigate these different colors is called chromatography. That's what we will be doing today, paper chromatography. And that is a chemical process using paper and water to find out a mixture or ingredients of something. So we are going to be doing markers today. So we are going to start out with some black markers, and then we'll do a couple other colors too and see what happens when the water, the paper, and the color are all together. And we'll be able to investigate what kind of maybe recipes these different markers have. So we will be using a coffee filter, just a normal coffee filter. And then I also have a yogurt container that has a hole cut out at the top. So we do this just so if it gets a little wet on top, some of the water can drip down and you'll be able to see what is happening a little clearer than if we just had this laying flat on something. So I think what we'll do is start out with one of our black markers here. So I have 3 different brands, 3 different companies made these markers. So we're gonna see how they react to water and through the paper. So let's see what we're going to find out here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my first marker here, and I'm gonna put a black dot right in the middle of the coffee filter. Just like that, just a little black dot. And then I'm gonna take my little beaker of water and my pipette, and I'm gonna drop 1, 2, 3, we'll do 4 drops of water. And so now what's happening is the water is spreading out the color molecules that are inside of this black marker mixture. So it is taking the color molecules and spreading them out throughout the coffee filter. So it is going to take a couple seconds for it to work. Or continue working. So we're gonna check back on that. That was my skinny Expo marker here. That was my first one. So we're gonna test out the other ones while that one is working. So we'll take our next coffee filter. We'll put a black dot in the middle, just like we did before. And this is my thick Crayola marker. So let's see how that reacts to the water. Three, four drops of water, and it is starting to spread. The water's starting to take the pigment of the marker and spread it throughout the top of the coffee filter. This is very exciting here. Okay, let's see here. So we have our Mr. Sketch. It's a smelly marker. Smells like licorice. Not my favorite smell. But we will see how it reacts to water on the coffee filter also, just like our other two markers. So I'll do the same thing. So now the marker pigment is soaked into the middle of our coffee filter here. Okay. And we're gonna see how the color black, how it separates, how the water helps it separate. Because the color black is made up of many, many different colors. So they may all look black to begin with, but we'll see if there are any differences between the different brands of marker. So it looks like our Expo marker is done spreading. So you can see here that all the color was pulled and separated using the water and the paper. It was pulled and separated so you can see all the different colors that are in this brand of black marker. Look how pretty that is. I see red and orange and yellow, blue, purple. Oh my goodness, a whole rainbow of colors. Very cool. All right, so I'll show you all of them again, but let's kind of keep in mind what that first marker looked like. So this one is our Crayola marker. And it looks like, what do you see that is very, very bright? What color do you see a lot of? Blue. That is very interesting, isn't it? So it doesn't have as much of a wide variety of colors. At least through this process, we can't see very many of them. You can see a little purple in there, a couple other colors. Very cool. So you can kind of see the difference between this one, the Crayola marker, and this one, the Expo marker. Very cool. So even though they all started out like a solid black dot, they all looked the same starting out. but we added water to it, and the paper helped grab all of those colors to make us, allow us to be able to see the recipe that was in those black markers. So here's our last one. This is our Mr. Sketch Smelly marker. So this one is a little more colorful than the Crayola, but it's not a solid rainbow kind of like the Expo marker is, right? So it reacted a little differently than both of these other markers, which is very interesting. There is still, do you notice a lot of blue in there? A lot of blue, but you do see a lot of like purple and yellow and orange, and there's a little red in there too. I just think these turn out so pretty. So we learned that even though they all start out the exact same black color, as at least it looks that way, right? They all have a different recipe that goes into making them. So we used the chemical process of paper chromatography to find that out. A coffee filter and water. This is something that you can do at home if you would like to test out other colors. You can test out your whole set of different colored markers. So let's try a couple colors. I'm gonna do a couple secondary colors. Let's see. So I'll put an orange, a little orange dot, and this is an Expo marker, so like the first black marker that we tried. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are gonna let that spread out, let the water pull all of the different pigments out of that one dot and spread them throughout the coffee filter. Let's do green also. I have my green Expo marker too. So let's see. Can anyone maybe predict what the main colors we are going to see will be of these two secondary colors? So for orange, what two colors make up the color orange? Yellow and red, right? Yellow and red. So let's see, maybe that's gonna be the most color that we see. I think that's my guess. I think that's my guess. We'll have to let it spread out a little more, and then we'll be able to see if our guesses are correct. And what about green? What two colors make green? What will we see a lot of in this one? Possibly blue and yellow, right? Blue and yellow. So I will set that aside. And our orange has spread out quite a bit already. That one was pretty quick. So we'll do this. I'll put it on my other coffee filters, because sometimes when the water hits the coffee filter, it becomes clear, a little harder to see. So I have to put a little white background on it, so it's a little easier. So we started out with this orange marker. And we ended up with these colors using our paper chromatography. What do you see in there? Were we right? Were our guesses correct? Basically, it looks a little more pink than red, doesn't it? But water was added to it, so these colors were lightened up a little bit. But how cool is that? It almost looks tie-dye. Very neat. You see a little lighter orange, yellow, pink, red. So that's the recipe that goes into making this. Those are the different colors they add. Oh, and it looks like our green expo marker is working really well over here. It's working hard. So the water spread out. You can really see one of the colors. Look at that. Our guess was correct. You can see our blue and our yellow. And then you can still see a little bit of green right in the middle. Great job. Great guesses. So we found out all of the recipes that go into making these markers. So if you have an orange expo marker, an orange Crayola, and another orange marker, maybe Mr. Sketch, you can try this, and each one of these orange markers will also be different, just like the black markers that we tried. Very cool, huh? So here, I'll show you this Mr. Sketch one again. It got pulled a little further than what we saw before. Very cool. And we have our Crayola. You can see it a little bit there. And we have our expo marker. Thank you so much for doing this super exciting color experiment with me. You learned all about paper chromatography. This is something that you can do at home. You can experiment with yourself. I have a lot of different tie-dye coffee filters around me. Maybe I'll have to make something exciting out of this. Like an art project. I love my art projects. So, if you would like to see our other exciting science experiments, make sure to come to our Facebook page every day, October 15th through the 18th. And we will be celebrating Wisconsin Science Festival. And also, if you would like to go to their website, all of the programs and events, there are just so many fun things that are happening throughout these next couple days that I definitely think you should check out. And we will all celebrate this super exciting science festival all together. Thank you again. And make sure to check out the Children's Museum of Green Bay's Facebook page for our next science experiment.